Hi there, my name is Brianne Grogan, and I'm a doctor of physical therapy. And today I'm going to share with you a day in the life of someone with prolapse. And this video was inspired by one of my followers. She suggested that I show a quick day of getting ready, showing breathing, moving, lifting, sitting, and all the things someone would do to improve and relieve prolapse symptoms. A bunch of lessons in practice in real life situations. And then she went on to say, thank you for your part in removing shame, silence, and stigma many women associate with this condition. So I'm so happy to make this video, and I want to share that I developed bladder prolapse 17 years ago after my son was born, and I have used over the last 17 years these exact strategies that I'm going to show you in this video to completely resolve my symptoms and manage my condition for the last 17 years. So you can learn these tips and tricks too. It just takes practice. And be sure to stay all the way to the end of this video because I will be sharing a real life story of hope from one of my followers who has prolapse. So here we go. Here is a day in the life. Here we go. Time to start another day. Your alarm clock rings and we sit up in a very special way. It's important not to jackknife or sit bolt upright out of bed. Whenever you're getting up to a seated position, you want to roll to your side and exhale to push yourself up. Now, you'll notice that my morning involves a lot of things to help with my digestion and having a good bowel movement. So I start the day with sipping some water. Sip, don't gulp. It's so important for hydration. Now, whenever I'm reaching for something, so for example, my cat food, you want to be sure to engage your pelvic floor and core. And whenever you're bending forward, you want to hinge at your hips. You don't want to hunch or round your back on a regular basis. Every once in a while, it's fine. But as a general rule, we want to be sure that we're engaged through our pelvic floor and core when we are lifting and pushing and pulling things. We exhale with exertion. And for the most part, we don't round or hunch our spine. We stay nice and tall. Now, I'm showing you another little tip that I use every morning. I take prebiotics. So these are different than probiotics. These are actually a nutrient essentially for your gut bacteria. So the brand I use is 38 Terra. And again, this is not a paid sponsorship or endorsement, but it's just something I use and it really helps me go to the bathroom. The other thing that helps is doing morning exercises. My morning moves include hip circles, countertop push-ups, and I also do a hip extension or a leg lift where that really activates my glutes, my butt muscles. And after all of that, so my coffee, my morning exercises, my prebiotics, my water, it's time to go to the bathroom. And I use a squatty potty to help position myself. This is a way where I am basically mimicking a deep squat position, which helps relax the rectum and allows stool to more easily pass through. Now, you want to avoid pushing and straining when having a bowel movement, and you want to avoid pressure around your waistline when wearing clothing. So that's where you want to wear wide, stretchy waistbands, non-restrictive things around your waist. And we want to change positions regularly at work and be sure that our posture and alignment is good. So sitting up tall, standing tall, changing positions. When you're sitting, try to make it so that your hips are a little bit higher than your knees. If your knees are higher than your hips, you will slouch, and we want to avoid slouching. Now, if you feel a cough or a sneeze or blowing your nose coming on, you want to engage your pelvic floor. So do a Kegel and hold it while you cough or sneeze or blow your nose, and then let it go. The movement breaks are so important. So take movement breaks as often as you can throughout the day. And it's really important if you wear heels, try to, first of all, minimize wearing high heels as much as you can. They're really not great for your posture and they can impact your pelvic floor. So wear flat, flexible shoes when you're walking or as much as you can throughout the day. I love minimalist footwear. And when you're exercising, be sure that you are really aware of your breathing. Never hold your breath and gradually work up to higher intensity workouts. I'm showing a mini trampoline session and I'm showing now how I'm carefully moving my trampoline without hunching my back, and I'm engaging my core. It's really important to work up slowly to the longer movement sessions and the more intense movement sessions. You don't just want to go straight away to high impact activities when you have prolapse. Work up to it slowly. Now, hips up time is one of my favorite things to do, and I love doing it at the wall as well as on the floor. I'll show it again if you missed it the first time. This is just more of me showing basic dinner prep things that you may come across. There is a lot of bending we all do throughout the day. You want to be sure that you're not hunching. Don't hunch. We want to hinge at our hips. We want to engage our pelvic floor when we're lifting and always exhale with exertion. Now, I'm just showing you a little dance party. It is fun and important to remember to have fun in life and dance around your kitchen now and then. And of course, spills happen, life happens, you're gonna have to clean. So when you are doing things such as vacuuming, which can be very taxing on the pelvic floor because of all that downward pressure if you're not careful, you want to use these tips. So don't hunch. You want to keep your back fairly straight. You want to breathe steadily, and you want to exhale with exertion. Your core is engaged as you're doing anything challenging like vacuuming. And then this is another example of hips up time. You put the pillow under your buttocks and you lay there for 3 to 5 minutes and just relax. It's so great for repositioning your pelvic organs. Now, after dinner, I personally love Natural Calm Magnesium. It contains 325 milligrams of magnesium carbonate. There are many different forms of magnesium that you might want to look into. This is not a specialized recommendation for you. It's simply what I use, and it helps me sleep better, and it helps me have a better poop the next day. So sip, don't gulp. When you are sitting and relaxing at the end of the day, be sure to prop yourself up with pillows as needed. Maybe under your low back, the back of your pelvis, you put one there to prop yourself up so that you're not hunching and that you're maintaining good posture and alignment as much as possible. You don't have to be perfect, but as much as possible, just prop yourself and support yourself so you can have great posture. And then at night, it is so important for prolapse to do whatever you need to do to have a good night of sleep and wake up with good energy. So these are just some tips that I personally use. I love earplugs so much. They have changed my life. And this is me being goofy, but actually not goofy. I love it. Every evening, I put a crystal on my head before bed with my earplugs. I charge my phone far away from the bed, and I always read a good, relaxing book. Then I roll over, and it's night time. Hope this has helped you. All right, thank you for watching that video. I hope it was helpful to see real ways that you can learn to help manage your prolapse symptoms and in some cases completely resolve them over time. Now, if you want more detail about everything I just showed, definitely check out my Lift program where I go more in depth into specific exercises and also lifestyle techniques that will help you manage your prolapse and relieve your symptoms naturally. Now, I wanted to share with you a real life story of hope from one of my Lift clients, and her name is Michelle, and I'm just gonna read to you something that she shared with me. So, Michelle says, since the birth of my daughter 23 years ago, I have had erectocele. No doctor ever said you should see a pelvic floor therapist about this. Just push it back in and do some Kegels. Now it is low and stage 2. In June, my bladder made an appearance due to stress and horrible constipation. I won't say it fell out because I've learned through Dr. Bree's podcast to watch my wording, but those muscles pulled down pretty low and became visible. I had no idea what it was and went to the ER. No help there. After several visits to my gynecologist, I felt like I was there twice a week, and attempting a few different pessaries, I was in tears. The pessaries only made my rectocele worse. I was put on a waiting list to see a pelvic floor specialist and a urogynecologist. I needed help now, not 6 to 12 weeks from now. Pelvic pain, bladder spasms, feeling my rectocele with every movement, and peeing every hour. I couldn't stand very long without intense pressure. I cried and searched TikTok and the internet. I was buying Prolapse underwear. I was questioning what my life was going to be like. I was basing my day on bowel and bladder movements. I refused to be on laxatives and bladder medications. I had to find help myself. First, I completely changed my diet and drinking habits. Then someone mentioned Dr. Bree and the Lift program on a Facebook post. I found her YouTube videos, I sat and watched her videos, her Instagram, her Facebook page, and cried because I found out there were other people like me with prolapse that was affecting their quality of life. One gynecologist I saw had suggested a vaginal repair for the rectocele with a 6-week recovery. My mom had been diagnosed in March with a health condition. There was no way I could be out that long. Another reason for all my stress. I found the trial of week 1 of the Lift program from Dr. Bree. I did it for 2 weeks in a row and noticed very small physical changes in my pelvic pain and rectocele. But I noticed big mental changes in how I viewed my body. One of my favorite videos from Dr. Bree is to stop looking at your prolapse and to stop thinking about your prolapse all the time. I started doing hip circles and morning primers. I started thanking my body for getting me through all of this. I started doing hips up time. I invested and purchased in the full Lift program so I could complete it and get the most out of it. I'm still working on it and I'm on my last week. I do each week for several weeks at a time. I wish I could tell you all in person or in a video how much the Lift program and Dr. Bree has helped me. It has helped me mentally and physically. This weekend I went to Charleston with my family and I was able to walk the entire time. I know my limits, so I went back to my hotel to rest my feet and put my pelvis up, but I was out there walking with minimal pressure. It's a lot of hard work completely changing your diet, but if I don't watch what I eat, then I'm not helping myself progress with the Lift exercises. I'm also able to help with taking care of my mother. Since all this happened at the beginning of June, I have seen a pelvic floor therapist 6 times. She has been amazed at my progress. I'm such a cheerleader for the Lift program. I might go ahead and do the Mind Body Pelvic Health Academy next time around. That's another one of my programs. I want other women to know that there are people out there who have prolapse and they are seeing results. I am one of them. Last but not least, after being on a waiting list for 3 months, I finally got to meet with a urogynecologist, and she said that at this time, Miss Cystocele was a stage 1, whereas just a few months ago, it was a 2. And my rectocele was still a stage 2, but I'm managing it better. She said the decision for a vaginal repair surgery was up to me. It's mainly a quality of life issue. To hear that it's up to me was huge. I'm just gonna keep focusing on positive thoughts and patience, diet, lots of prayer, and lots of pelvic floor videos from Dr. Bree to see if I can keep it at the stage it is now, or maybe even strengthen it more. Thank you, Dr. Bree, my family, and my husband, thank you too. I love that story. There's so much there. She talks about the slow and steady pace of progress. It's not an overnight fix, but there is so much hope for you to get better. And there's help out there. So if you're interested in my Lift program, definitely check the video description. I will also share links and resources to other videos that might be helpful for you that detail more of this information about how to live life with prolapse and how to manage your prolapse really well so that it doesn't get worse. And in fact, so that it can even get better. So thank you for watching. I hope this has helped you, and I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter. Bye.